Hey everybody, Jacob Godar here. Today, I'm bringing up a big question for you. What are you doing for your retirement? If you have a lawn and landscape business or you have any type of business, what are you doing to make sure your family, the people that you're around, your family's family, they're taken care of, that you're taking care of yourself, that you've got the means to do whatever it is and step into that next chapter, whatever that is for you. Maybe that means not working. For me, I think that means shifting working. I always want to be working on a project, working on building something, working on creating something new, but I don't know that it'll be exactly what I'm doing now. What have you done to prepare yourself? Are you saving money? Are you putting money in the stock market? Are you optimizing your business to be worth the most when you go to sell it in the future? Or have you not thought about this at all? That is a really big question, because planning is what gets you from a point of where you're starting to finishing to where you intend to be as smooth as possible. They say when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So if you don't plan retiring at all, if you don't think about it at all, you're going to end up at the end of the road wondering, what am I supposed to do? I'm on a fixed income. I just have Social Security. And I hate to say this, but I don't hate to say this. That's your fault. That's whoever's fault that got to that point. Yes, certain people might have had certain circumstances in their life that have made it where it was more challenging for them. But honestly, you control your life. And the more accountability you can take for your life, the better the success will be anyway. So let's plan to get there in a relatively exciting way. And what does that look like? So I will tell you what I do in the means of retirement. This is my plan. I'm not a certified investment planner, so I can't tell you your business, but I'm going to tell you some of the things I am doing, some of the things I am investing my time in learning about, so I can better my retirement ages, my golden years, which I want to have fun now. I want to save money and put it in things that make more money, and I want to continue to expand and build life forever. But so some of the things. First thing, when the great pandemic of 2020 happened, I took all of the cash I had and I put it into the stock market. This was really exciting because everybody was scared, everybody was running, and there's a great saying, I think it was Warren Buffett, that when there's blood on the streets, that's when you invest, or something like that. I can't even remember the saying, so I'm butchering that. But basically, when people are fearful, that is when you're supposed to be investing. When people are greedy, that's when you should be running away. That's how the stock market works. So if everybody's running from something, it's a perfect example of life. When the herd of people runs, you just go in the other direction because all the idiots flock together and they go one way, and usually they're going the wrong way. So I dumped into the stock market. This was a really good first step for me. I've done a lot of learning about the stock market. There's books from Tony Robbins, there's books from multiple different investors that you can look into, Ray Dalio's information that you can do to educate yourself as much as possible. There's also a few really good YouTube channels that you can check, and I say a few, but probably way more than a few, about investing that can broaden your knowledge and help you learn about stock investing. So I don't have a 401k, I don't have a Roth. Most people would probably say, why would you not do those things? I have a 401k for my team because I want to make sure everybody's investing. But for me, I just have a portfolio where I dump money into. I have a dividend account, I have like growth accounts, and then I also have some automated things that I don't do anything. They just dump set amounts of money a week. And I think just like when I learned when I was starting the business, people always want to know, how much should I take? I take a little bit this week, I take more this week, I do this then. Consistency. So if you're going to invest, even if it's a small amount, invest $10 a week. So I'm going to put $10 in this fund or this thing, this whatever that is, this thing in the stock market. And I'm going to do that consistently. So I have it broke up where I have 3 different buys each week going from different accounts. I have rental properties I have that have cash overflow that they go and buy stocks. I have personal money that it goes and buy stocks. I have other personal money that it goes and buy stocks again. So I do 3 buys on that. I also do 1 buy of cryptocurrency. I buy Bitcoin and I buy Ethereum. This is something that I've studied some in, and it's not a lot, but the way I look at it is it's something that I believe that is too big to fail. Could be totally wrong. You can burn me alive in the comments. It's not a major investment of mine. It's just something I put money into. But so I invest into that. So that's very skeptical and very volatile, meaning it goes up and down and changes all the time. But the stock market, there's a lot there that is to gain from. You know, there's a lot of stuff in there where you can buy into it, and long term, if you believe that the US is going to continue to grow and get better and bigger, that you're probably going to win on those things. So a little bit of education about the stock market could take you a long way and could truly help build your assets, build your wealth. Next, real estate. This is what I got into before I even got into the stock market. I don't have a ton of real estate. I have 2 properties that are my own that I have is just long-term rentals. I am very excited about getting into Airbnb and rentals here in Florida, maybe multi-unit stuff, but this is a really, really great tool. You can take a lot of money from a business and put money in houses, and all of a sudden you're creating a lot of reoccurring revenue that's coming back to you. Yes, there's going to be maintenance. Yes, there's going to be challenges. Yes, there's going to be this. Yes, there's going to be that. But you want to buy assets that produce income. That's why I really like dividend stocks, and I can't get into all of this. But so those properties. I also have 2 partners where we buy properties. We currently have, I believe, 4 or 5 not apartment buildings, like they're in an association and they're all units. Very cool little properties that all pump out more money. We got together because we knew if we pooled our money and we pooled our savviness towards earning, learning, growing, that we could do better together. So that was a really cool thing, forming that. It's a separate little business that I'm a part of. Another thing I do for investing is I have my stock portfolio itself use its margin loans as a line of credit for my business. And this is something that when I lend money to myself, the interest rate that gets paid back is bigger than the cost of lending it. So therefore, it's another gain for me. All these things are things that I'm kind of doing off to the side of running the business. Then we're building businesses that are ideally going to have a better and better value as they move forward. There is going to be growth. There are going to be new employees. There are going to be systems. There are going to be things of value. Now, do I ever intend to sell a business? I don't know. It would have to be the perfect situation. It would have to be probably to an employee that's a freaking rock star. And because I plan to multiply what we're doing forever. I don't plan to stay stagnant and just have this one company and do this one thing. So I plan to multiply these and continue to have more and more and more. And in the future, there's the potential for sale of those. And then also, I just focus on the business, making as much money as possible to knock down debts in business, maintain a fairly modest lifestyle. I don't go crazy. I just don't buy a bunch of crazy stuff for me. The craziest thing I ever bought was the Tesla, and that was just one thing I've always wanted. So I focus on everything being as profitable as possible. One, to pay as much as possible to the team so we can go out and have badass people that get incentives and other things so we can fight to be even more profitable, so I can take money and invest even more of that off into the side into those other things so the nest egg can continue to grow. Because that may sound, it's like, say if an employee was watching this, you might be like, well, doesn't that sound like you're just pushing everyone to grow your own thing? If you only look at it that way, my financial security, my financial fortitude and money that I have set to the side, and whether it's houses or stocks or this or that or the other, gives me even more leverage to do stuff in a business. It makes me feel even more secure when I do things in the business, because I might not necessarily be relying 100% on the business. The more I'm not relying 100% on the business to feed me, the more I can speed that business along and create even more opportunity for the employees. So depending on how you look at that, really determines the outlook you would truly have. So I have these different levers that I consistently invest money into weekly. It's going to be stock market and cryptocurrency style stuff. Then there's going to be real estate, and all of that stuff is what the money dumps into to create more revenue off of that. And then the businesses to continue growing and growing and growing to create more cash flow, to fund more of these things, to continue making stuff more and more secure. Now, my whole intent is to build this business moving forward to get even more reserves, more security, so all my funding, hopefully in the future, and all of our funding is more and more internally funded, which will spin off even more and more interest on the money that is the base of all this anyway. So These are all just my ideas. These are all the things I work on. These are all the things I currently invest in. There's a lot of cool things you can do out there. There's a lot of cool investment strategies. I need to be involved in something that takes not much effort. Stock market, I don't look at it. It's automated. It does all of the stuff automatically. I've set it all up automatically. The houses, Zoe manages all of the back and forth with the people. I don't have to do that. We just continuously run those, and then we're going to use those to buy more properties. So that's my current plan. That's what we're currently building. Now, what is it that you are building? What are you putting money in? Have you educated yourself on the stock market? Are you into rental properties? Are you into any of the other investment, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies? What is it that you're doing to make sure when you are down the road that you're ready? Because this is so huge. There's so many business owners that think that they can't have a good retirement. You can have a great retirement, but you got to plan for this stuff. If you can't save money when you're not making much money, you're not going to save money when you're making a shit ton of money, because it's just all relative. You make more and more money, you are never able to save any. You're not going to magically be like, oh, I make all this and I'm not going to spend it all. That's not how it works. So think about this stuff for your future. Think about what you're currently doing. Learn about the different things that are available to you to invest in. I've just hit on some of the stuff I do, and it's just the stuff I'm comfortable with. That's the big part of this, is you need to do stuff that you're comfortable with and you understand, so you can have the best results. I hope this has served you well. Leave it in the comments below. What is it that you're doing to make sure you have a retirement worth enjoying? And I'll talk to you soon.